Hello, you're kicking off the Wednesday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin with Milinchi and the Camden Lies. President Lincoln receives Governor of KALUGA, Russia Federation. Ministry of National Defense strengthens forces to combat IEO fishing. Vietnam and EU promote comprehensive cooperation. On November the 25th, General Secretary To Lam attended a session to hear the government's proposal, ratification report and group discussions on two national target programs for 2026-2035 in education, training and healthcare population. In the afternoon, the National Assembly debated the revised law on drug prevention and control. According to the government's submission, the two programs aim to standardize and modernize the education system, expand learning opportunities, strengthen primary health care, and improve population quality, with priority given to disadvantaged, mountainous, border, and island area. By 2030, the goal is for all citizens to have electronic health records and for all schools and classrooms to be fully upgraded. The education training program is allocated nearly $22 billion, while the healthcare population program receives some $4.74 billion. During group discussions, the lawmakers called for careful assessment of feasibility, clearer identification of priority beneficiaries, and special policies to ensure effective resource allocation. At the afternoon plenary session on the revised drug prevention and control law, the deputy stressed the need to clarify management policies for drug users and addicts, balancing strict handling with their rights to education, employment, and reintegration. On November the 25th in Hanoi, President Lincoln welcomed Governor Vladislav Valerievich Shapshar and a delegation from Kaluga province. The president affirmed that the party, state, and people of Vietnam always value the long-standing friendship and support that the Soviet Union and the Russia Federation have extended to Vietnam in its struggles for independence and in national reconstruction and development. He praised KALUGA's efforts in promoting business links, investment trade, cultural and tourism exchanges, as well as cooperation in science, technology, education, training, and high-tech agriculture with Vietnamese localities. He expressed hope that both sides would further unlock their cooperation potential and complement each other's strengths. President Lincoln emphasized that KALUGA's cooperation with Vietnam is a vivid symbol of the traditional friendship and comprehensive strategic partnership between Vietnam and Russia, underscoring the important role of local-level cooperation in deepening ties and mutual understanding. Governor Shapshar thanked the president for the warm reception and reaffirmed KALUGA's intention to expand cooperation with Vietnam in all fields. He noted that the province is ready to support Vietnamese enterprises investing in KALUGA and to welcome Vietnamese students and researchers to its leading educational and scientific institutions. He highlighted the effective operations of Vietnamese businesses in KALUGA's high-tech agriculture sector, especially dairy farming and milk processing, calling them valuable contributions to Russia's food security and about enhancing people-to-people relations. Honored to receive the Medal of Friendship from the Party and State of Vietnam, Governor Shapshar pledged continued efforts to strengthen the Vietnam-Russia partnership. On November the 25th in Ho Chi Minh City, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the CEO Fan T-Connect Dialogue themed Ho Chi Minh City towards a global megacity in the digital era. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính called on domestic and international partners to continue cooperating, sharing visions and accompanying Ho Chi Minh City so that we work together, benefit together, succeed together, and develop together. He emphasized that international solidarity, support from businesses, and foreign investment will play an important role in driving the city's development, helping it to become Vietnam's leading economic hub and a city capable of competing with major global urban centers. CEO Phan Reup connects together more than 500 business leaders from Vietnam and abroad, focusing on public-private partnership models, green investment strategies, technological innovation, and modern urban governance. The dialogue also witnessed the launch of a series of strategic cooperation programs between regulatory agencies, innovation centers, and major domestic and international cooperation. The Vietnam-Japan Local Cooperation Forum themed Accompanying Comprehensive Development, Shaping a Sustainable Future was held on November 25th in Quảng Ninh Province, Vietnam. This is the first official local-level cooperation event between Vietnam and Japan, organized by the Vietnamese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Embassy of Japan in Vietnam, and the Quảng Ninh Provincial People's Committee. Politburo member and Prime Minister of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, Phạm Minh Chính, attended and delivered a keynote address. In his remarks, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính emphasized that with the guiding principle, solidarity creates strength, cooperation creates shared benefits, dialogue builds trust. The Vietnam-Japan Local Cooperation Forum carries profound practical and strategic significance. It reflects the spirit of win-win cooperation, shared development, and joint efforts to cultivate a future peace, stability, and prosperity for both nations. The Prime Minister highlighted that, built upon more than 1,300 years of people-to-people exchange and over half a century of diplomatic relations, Vietnam and Japan have nurtured a friendship and partnership that is increasingly trustworthy, comprehensive, substantive, and effective. To date, Japan has become one of Vietnam's most important economic partners, ranked first in ODA cooperation and labor cooperation, third in investment, and fourth in trade and tourism. It can be affirmed that local cooperation and business cooperation are unique hallmarks of Vietnam-Japan relations. They serve as practical and effective channels that help implement and concretize the agreements reached by senior leaders of both countries. Representatives from Japanese and Vietnam's localities share their potentials, strengths, and socio-economic development strategies. They also reviewed the challenges and achievements in the implementation of previous site cooperation programs between the two sides. This forum was organized to connect Japanese localities with Vietnamese localities, as well as relevant businesses of both countries. I believe the forum has provided an extremely important networking and exchange opportunity, laying the foundation for JICA to consider ways to support these cooperative efforts. The valuable contributions of Japanese localities and enterprises to bilateral cooperation, as well as to Vietnam's socio-economic development over the years, have always been highly appreciated. This reaffirms that local level and business cooperation are distinctive features of Vietnam-Japan relations, practical and effective channels that create new momentum, contributing to the successful implementation and concretization of high-level agreements between the two countries. On November the 25th in Hanoi, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, attended and delivered remarks at the conference reviewing the performance of the 15th Tenor National Assembly delegation of Thái Nguyên Province for 2021-2025. General Phan Van Giang highlighted that the 15th National Assembly has played a pioneering role in institutional improvement, legislative reform, and oversight innovation, laying a solid foundation for the country's new development phase. Within the effort, Thái Nguyên National Assembly deputies have made notable contribution supporting national socio-economic growth and the province development. To help Thái Nguyên become a modern industrial hub with upper middle income before 2030, the minister expressed confidence that provincial deputies will continue fulfilling their duties, staying close to grassroots realities and listening to voters. During the 15th tenure, the delegation organized over 40 consultation conferences, contributed to more than 100 draft laws, including many historic, timely policies that remove bottlenecks and advance economic development, national defense, and security. Deputies also met over 54,000 voters, primarily addressing issues related to defense industry policy, benefits for people with meritorious service, fellow soldiers' identification, and military home front work. The Ministry of National Defense is currently maintaining 46 vessels on duty across Vietnam's waters and has added 3 more ship teams to conduct a round-the-clock patrol and IU monitoring in adjacent maritime zones. The ministry will continue reinforcing on-duty vessels and patrol boats, staying closely aligned with conditions at sea, strictly controlling fishing activities, and resolutely preventing fishing vessels from crossing maritime boundaries or illegally operating in foreign waters. At the meeting of the Ministry of National Defense Steering Committee on combating illegal, unreported and unregulated (IU) fishing, Lieutenant General Lê Quang Đạo, Double Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and head of the Steering Committee, emphasized that although the ministry has implemented a wide range of solutions, IU violation remains complex, especially in distant waters. To fulfill the commitment to work with the government to soon have the European Commission yellow card removed for Vietnam seafood exports, Lieutenant General Lê Quang Đạo requested relevant agencies to continue studying and advising on expanding the use of military aircraft to enhance patrol and surveillance of fishing vessels at sea, ensuring timely detection and handling of violations. Coming up next, Vietnam and EU promote comprehensive cooperation. Communist parties of Vietnam and Cuba strengthen theoretical and scientific cooperation. Recently, at the headquarters of the European External Action Service in Brussels, the 6th meeting of the Vietnam-EU Joint Committee for the implementation of the Partnership and Cooperation Agreement took place, co-chaired by Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Lê Thị Thu Hằng and Ms. Paula Papabloni. At the meeting, the EU expressed sympathy for Vietnam over the losses caused by recent storms and floods, announcing assistance of 850,000 euros and calling on its member states to continue contributing. Several countries, including Luxembourg, Germany, and the Czech Republic, responded, with the first relief shipment from Luxembourg already arriving in Vietnam. The two sides reviewed their comprehensive bilateral cooperation across existing frameworks, noting that Vietnam-EU relations continue to develop positively in all areas, particularly trade and investment, defense and security, education, and climate change response. Both sides agreed to strengthen high-level exchanges, fully implement the EVFTA, promote the ratification of the AVIPA, and expand cooperation in green economy, digital transformation, energy transition, science, technology, and innovation. Vietnam called on the EU to support the effective use of programs such as Erasmus+, Horizon Europe, and JETP, and urged the EU to soon consider lifting the IU yellow card. A delegation from the Scientific Council of the Communist Party of Vietnam Commissions, led by Deputy Head of the Party Exchange Committee's Commission for Information, Education and Mass Mobilization, Vũ Thanh Mai, recently visited Cuba to enhance cooperation and share experience in theoretical and scientific research. At the reception for the delegation, Roberto Morales Ojeda, Politburo permanent member of the Secretariat of the Communist Party of Cuba Central Committee and head of its organization commission, expressed solidarity and extended heartfelt condolences to the Vietnamese people and government over the severe losses caused by the recent floods in the central region of Vietnam. For his part, Vũ Thanh Mai reaffirmed that the party, state, and people of Vietnam always stand side by side with the Cuban people in all circumstances, reiterating Vietnam's unwavering opposition to the embargo against and the listing of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism. Mr. Vũ Thanh Mai and the delegation held working sessions with Cuban senior officials, including head of the Economic Productive Department, George Luis Broch Lorenzo, head of the Social Care Department, Rolando Giro, to exchange practical experiences in public work. During a meeting between the Vietnamese senior officer and Fernando González Lelos, president of the Cuban Institute of Friendship with the Peoples, The Cuban side wished to further boost cooperation with Vietnamese friendship organizations and emphasize the need to inspire younger generations with patriotism and an appreciation for the special bond between the two nations. The Vietnamese delegation also visited PNR, Del Rio, and Matanzas provinces to explore economic strengths and cooperation potential in investment and trade with a view to boosting cooperation with Vietnamese localities. The party committee secretaries of the two provinces called for greater Vietnamese investment, particularly in agriculture, biotechnology, renewable energy, and tourism, and pledged to create favorable conditions for Vietnamese investors. The delegation also toured local production facilities and the Matanzas Provincial Hospital and laid flowers at the statue of President Ho Chi Minh at the park named after him in Havana. It is the end of the English News Bulletin today. You can watch our news again at kpvn.vn. For now, goodbye and see you next time.